What's up, guys? It's Alex.
It's Quinn.
It's Iconic Comic, and we are back, and we are ready to react to how web swinging works in Spider-Man. Before we get into this really quick, I want to ask you a question. Are you wearing a t-shirt right now? If you're not, don't worry about it. But if you are wearing a t-shirt, you're probably wearing a cool t-shirt like we are, geek t-shirts. Go over to tblocks.com. They got some really cool stuff. Go online, go on there, and you plug in your interest, and you can get a really cool t-shirt, and it's not going to be the same as everyone else. If you use our code ICONICTBX, you can save 10% off of your order. So go check those guys out at T-Blocks. Now, for the new Spider-Man game, it's on PlayStation 4. Solely on PlayStation 4. I'm kind of sad about that. So
we need a PlayStation 4.
We need a PlayStation 4. But the trailer for it that we saw a while ago looks
like a year ago almost.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's stop wasting time and let's get into this.
Let's figure out how web swinging works.
Like how it's gonna actually, like how the gameplay is gonna.
Well, I'm wondering, it's like, is it gonna be like different than the other Spider-Man games when it comes to web swinging?
I know in Spider-Man 2, as long as you were around something, you really didn't have to like really aim or pinpoint.
Spider-Man 1. It was literally straight up in the air into the sky.
Like God was like, "Oh, I got you. That's
and then,
cool."
And then the Amazing Spider-Man, you actually had to like pick a point on a building, which is both practical, but at the same time feels like it would be tedious.
It's daunting. It's like I'm just trying to get from A to B.
Dude, I love like when you're just like when you get a flow going and you get to the end of a big swing and you like do that like jump forward and you like cover like miles. Oh, all right. Well, let's see how it works.
Miles.
Oh yeah. Let's see how it works in Spider-Man PS4. 3, 2, 1.
It's the #1 thing we knew we had to get right. It's the first thing we ever worked on in terms of building a Spider-Man game.
It's all come together from like prototype space to now you really get that sense of speed with the visual effects that are there.
Similar to what we talk about combat. We want you to feel great instantly when you pick up the controller, but over time you start to see the complexity, start to see the depth.
Your R2 button is really your go button. We use that for both ground motion, where you start doing parkour over elements that might be in your way, and for swinging in the air. And so R2 throws out a line, searches through the environment to find that attach point. You're on a pendulum, and then at different points in that line, you've got different momentum coming off the line. And so as a player, you're thinking about where you're releasing. Then you can actually hit X off the line to get sort of a jump spring off. Different places, again, depending on where you are on the pendulum, give you either forward or upward momentum. Through the other moves, like the X button, again, will throw out lines ahead of you, or you can actually steer it to do quick turns. And they attach to buildings as well and pull you in a particular direction.
One thing we talked about is we didn't want to stop players. We didn't want to like face plant. We want to just keep your momentum and flow going. And he's 8 years being Spider-Man. He's kind of fine-tuned his traversal. So if you slam into a building, you just keep running up it.
Yeah, and when you hit that wall, we actually do take your input direction into account. So you can go straight up, you can go horizontal, or you can even go at an angle. And you've got steerability on the wall as well.
You have basically two options at the top. You can either keep going up and it'll kind of send you like in a mid-air jump, but if you time the button press near the top of the building, it'll kind of catapult.
It just goes right around the edge.
And going. And then what you do is you press X again to web zip forward. You can really just keep that rhythm and flow of your traversal going and make it and can feel really pretty fast and fluid.
When you're above the building line, if you're too far above, there's nothing to attach to, and so we don't want anything to happen. But it doesn't make sense that you would just be stuck up there waiting to fall, right? You're Spider-Man, and so you can
environmental stuff.
Get a pull down into the building line.
And you do have like a L3.
Yeah, so the L3 button actually sends you to a free fall dive, and that's one of the ways to get a lot of momentum pretty quickly.
It's like the best part about that movie is
there's also L2 and R2 together will zip you to a perch, so you actually throw out a line to a particular environment object, like a lamppost or something like that.
Yeah, lamppost, water towers,
it just
keeps
you flow so well.
So then you'll follow those lines in, and if you hit again the X button, it's
but
a lot of really simple button combinations that you can chain together. That X button will throw you off of that.
They're just available for you.
As you level up through the game, you actually do get some speed boosts, so you start going faster. There's also some of those moves that we've talked about that really give you bursts of momentum are unlockable over the course of the game.
You gotta feel like Spider-Man more than you've ever done before. It's all about feeling like Spider-Man. It's delivering that fantasy of I'm swinging through this concrete jungle gym of New York City, and I'm doing it with speed, style, flow, fluidity, and acrobatics that
I remember in Spider-Man 2 when you had to get across town in a certain amount of time. That pumped me up. Because when you get going like this,
Spider-Man,
when you get in a flow,
just want to swing around the city because it's just That's what he does, and you have that feeling of relaxation within.
If you guys want to see us
region.
play this game, head over to Patreon
and help us get a PS4.
Help us get a PS4. Get some gaming going with that game. Looks really cool.
It looks
easy. It looks so
smooth.
smooth.
I bet you it's like when we play it, it would not be as easy as that
It'll
looks.
take some time.
But it looks like they took like the elements from like Spider-Man 2 and the Amazing Spider-Man, kind of combined them in a smart way, like with the points of emphasis that you can attach to and pick, but also freedom of movement.
And I always liked in Spider-Man 2 when you hit a wall, you could run on it.
Yeah, but that's like your option, like that, or that's what it is. When they were talking, it seemed as if that's like your only option. I mean, I guess you could probably crawl if you really wanted to, but like I didn't see him crawl once. Like it was just boom, we're going. I'm assuming they're not going to take the wall crawling out of the game because that's kind of a staple, like to his character. Like he climbs up walls.
Yeah. So you hold R2 to like it's your go button. So that reminds me of Assassin's Creed. When you do parkour with Assassin's Creed, you don't have to hit any button. You just like, okay, I'm gonna hit this R2. Okay, I'm gonna hit this button, and it's gonna tell my character to parkour.
Now I hope, because just the way it sounded, it's probably just I'm not understanding it fully, but I hope that, because he said you hold down that R2 button, I hope that doesn't mean all I got to do is hold it down and point forward.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a racing game.
Well, there's not a lot of work involved. Like what I really liked about the Spider-Man games is like you jump up the building and you click it and hold it down to swing, and then you jump, release, click it again, and you would just find this flow and rhythm. Yeah. But like I said, it looks like a cool kind of amalgamation of both franchises, and it sort of feels kind of like, especially with the combat from the trailer, it's like the Arkham for Spider-Man, with the free flow combat, and that's kind of like the way the grappling works in the Arkham games for Batman. Like you could get to the top and just go right into a glide. Like you wouldn't have to stop and climb up the roof.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that, because with games like this, it's really important to have the mobility and the freedom to do that. Like with Spider-Man 1, I mean, it was...
I love that game, though.
It is a fun game, but then when Spider-Man 2 came out, it's like...
It was a game changer.
It's like, literally a game changer. But it's like, I'm kind of free to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I have the freedom, and I feel like with this one, we'll get even more immersed in Spider-Man.
Yeah. The power.
It feels good.
All right. Take on this.
Shut up. If you guys liked what you saw, make sure you guys like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe
so that you don't miss anything from this channel. Also, check us out on the Stardust app. Go on there. You can see our reactions to your favorite TV shows and movies.
And don't forget, we're on our road to 10,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit that by the release of Avengers Infinity War. So share this with your friends, your family. Get us to 10K by Infinity War, and we're going to have lots of cool stuff like giveaways and videos for you guys.
And make sure you stay tuned.
Stay iconic.
And cue music.
Holy Grail.